Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you. Wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. Alright, so I'm about to do a quick essence read first. So that way hopefully the messages are more clear throughout the day. Alright. Alright, of course, not all readings are going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. During the essence reading, usually it's a lot more information in it than, a specified reading. So just be mindful of that. Alright, alright. So it's usually quite a few different parts. Make sure you check your vibration while you're watching this. So that way it'll give you more clarity about where you are, what you're looking at, and what it is that you would need to evaluate. Okay, I go over business, love, and I also go over some other, whatever else pretty much comes out. Alright, alright. King of Pentacles, first card out. This King of Pentacles been coming out a whole lot. All these King of Pentacles have been coming out a whole lot over the course of these past couple of days. That's part one. Part two, realistically, King of Pentacles, realistically, it talks about being stable, right? What it is to have the doing stability, of course, to have money, finances, right? But it also is depicted in this picture as what constitutes as healing finances, right? Healing, well, I'm coming with the murder cards, right? But the healing of finances that comes into place with being stable, sitting at the throne, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn essence, right? So could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, but doesn't necessarily have to be. Alright, in their varying stages. Court, right? Support card, right? You have to go through quite a bit in order to be constituted as a king. And with the King of Pentacles, it's realistically about being grounded, alright? And having a grounded nature, alright? Okay. One of those songs it was that I was hearing before I got on here, right, was Intentional by Travis Green. I remember that song because when it was playing, while it was playing a while ago, when it first had come out, it was around the same time as Dark Horse by Katy Perry. And if you know, you know, right? When you're essence sensitive, energy sensitive, you can pick up on a lot of different things. So ultimately, what is telling me about the atmosphere is how things would be masked, right? Stolen from, masked, or amassed. Wealth that would be amassed from theft, realistically, because Katy Perry took that song, Dark Horse, from his gospel song, Intentional, I want to say. Yeah. Love, Two of Cups, King of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Swords reverse. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I want to get some more cards. Okay. I wanted to get some more cards so we can get a little bit more info on this. Okay, Queen of Swords. So ultimately, what this is telling me, right? It'll be about the relationship that comes with the King of Pentacles and Queen of Swords. Being grounded and being able to be direct in the spirit. Direct in the spirit and to direct the spirit. And the fortune that'll come into place with, I'm gonna say like 7 days ago, when being fortunate without being sneaky in the directness of one's spirit. And the reality is the spirit is a truth. Like the spirit is the sword. Healing the spirit with truth. Healing the spirit of truth. The directness of shifting the thoughts for healing. Healing thoughts. What it's given is how one thing depends on the other. How one would depend on another. Not to be sneaky. And how direct they are within winning at all costs for healing. Some of it is winning at all costs for healing. The other portion of this is going to be in regards to that star card. We got two major arcana showing up, guys. Part of it is, and their X is coming out so much. How the King of Pentacles would love the X. And then it would shift into the directness of one winning at all costs with healing. And then in regards to it, it'll be about the work inside one's mind and a decision as an influence. How a person will work on one's mind. Work on one's mind, work on one's thoughts. And the fortune not being stolen directly from the spirit. And one being indecisive, or sorry, the decision is not an illusion and it's not an option. It being the season for one not to be sneaky. Ensure how a person wouldn't have to be sneaky. Before I got on here, right, one of the things that was coming to me a whole lot was what would constitute as indicative, right, of the context. The words I was hearing was context and codex of a group of people, right? And within that, whether or not it's respected, whether or not things would be respected within that group or grouping, right? One of the words that is given is the genus, right? But what it looked like is going on, right, is there would be like the conflicting thoughts as to what constitutes as healing and being healed, part one. Part two, right, that I'm saying that will be going on in regards to this is the thoughts it is that will be had would be in regards to loving a fortune, so loving the money, or one how a person would only love a person when their fortune is in the upright, meaning they only love them when they got something. They wouldn't love them if they didn't have anything. It's that part. The other portion of it that is given is some situations. Fuck it, I'll go ahead. My bad. I'm cussing out. I'm sorry. What is given is in the thought process, work woman, work wife, the difference, how one will work on the feelings, work on their feelings 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks ago, a couple days ago. And inside of one's mind, a person not being stuck in that and not having options for codependence. Okay, so some of this other stuff that I'm giving y'all is not being stuck with children. Is part one. So, no, because what it's giving is how it should be easier for a person to get something that they would want from someone because they don't have kids. Oh, yeah, this is some bad. Yeah, this is some poor expectations that's kind of going on in regards to that portion. Yeah, because it's one of those, I don't have a child. What it's given is that I don't have a child anymore. So since I don't have a child anymore, you should be, uh, you should be able to hold on to things more because a person wouldn't have a kid or wouldn't have a child. That's part one. Part two is there's the ideal set, right? That is kind of coming along with this some stuff that would have taken place on February the 7th. Okay, so with this, yeah, it looked like, fuck it, somebody must have said or did some stuff around February the 7th. February is that Black History Month, Valentine's, and it's a whole bunch of little things sprinkled out right throughout President's Day. Or not President's Day. I'm thinking that's what this is about then. President's Day. That's not in February though, is it? Mm. And what it is for it to be a man president versus a woman. So it could have been some things that would have been said. And I'm seeing the 7th day of February. Oh, and one not being on the path. Not being on the path. Not being the world that would have been created. Okay, so what this is giving is, yeah, for a person to be fortunate at that time, that wasn't what it is that they wanted. The King of Pentacles would have wanted. However, that's not what they want them to have. Okay, this King of Pentacles, realistically, coming off kind of, yeah, coming off a little egotistical, right? Part one. The other part of this is, okay, so from what I'm seeing, the other part of this is when it comes down to, yeah, it must have been something where it would have been some stuff that was posted. It'll be in the second paragraph like the seventh word that would determine the spirit of a person winning at all costs for healing, or shifting the mindset and the thoughts of the spirit of the star seed, healing, Aquarius, humanitarian scale. Now, on a humanitarian scale, how it look one way, but in the reality of it is something completely different. It's kind of what they're giving. But that was back in February, y'all. Okay, let me go ahead and say this now. That was back in February. It is officially November, close to Thanksgiving. That was 9 months ago, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in the alchemization of everything, it'll be about the strategy for one to be indecisive in having the options of being independent in a world that they would have created. And the impatience that comes with reconciliation. How a person would just want everything to be over. No, you want to know what it is though, because this reconciliation card has been coming up quite a bit, y'all. It really, really has. Um, Reconciliations and how it would end the angel and all this other stuff. But what's not being considered is the decision that would be made. How a person would think that they can make a person make a certain decision is what this is giving. Oh my goodness. Because they would, oh, about the community. Okay, I'm thinking that's it. This is giving a hierarchy of situations, and what's going on is it's like a bunch of different situations that are intended to play out to depict and determine one's fortune and to determine what goes on in the season within or being communication. The season with communication, the season of communication, how it is one will speak to an individual. All right. So ultimately, okay, with this whole dynamic, it's giving what they call that first in, first out. It's giving first in, first out. That's what it's really giving. The first in, first out aspect of things. And a play on the season. In short, it being the lover seat, the King of Pentacles would love the season and the fortune of one not having a strategy, not being sneaky within their directness. And there would be this winning at all costs that would come with Aquarius using somebody else or trying to master essence from the Queen of Pentacles to this Aquarius essence. And then the work it is that would be done, it would go into that work would be a part of one's mind for a decision to make for them to not for one not to be stuck and not having options. interdependence. In short, so somebody can be with. Yeah, in short, it's one of those. The whole idea of you do have options. You do have options. Is kind of what that's given in regards to the world that would have been created out of impatience without virtue, and then there being a reconciliation in the community. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna go ahead and say in regards to the whole communication aspect, what this is giving is a person. It's about knowing a place, knowing your place. Part one, part two. Yeah, because what is telling is first and foremost that that it's intended. Yeah, it's like a trap for a person to be stuck. It's a trap for a person to be stuck in an illusion, being stuck in the illusion of independence when the reality is the world that would have been created would have been due to ending ending what it is that would have gone on with the alchemist, how alchemy would end in the community. Let me go ahead and say this. Yeah, because in the book, the alchemist created what needed to be created, and then he handed it off to another person, right? That's part one. Part two, and the other portion of it is ending, one not being an angel. Yeah, it's giving a lot of pressure. 2212, when I said this, it's one of those putting the pressure on a person. In short, to be like, oh, yeah, you need people, you need the community. 2222, when I said this, you need people, you need the community, right? Now, here's the deal that comes into place with it. I'm going to go ahead and say this, even in regards to this whole communication aspect, and then we'll get into the business portion of it all. Well, actually, this is the business portion of it all. Because in the business aspect of it, with them being grounded and stable and firm, realistically, and love is given the only thing that could move King of Pentacles aspect is Queen of Swords. Right? I don't see no other Queen of Pentacles. I don't see a Queen of Pentacles. I don't see a Queen of Cups. I don't see yeah, or a Queen of Wands. It's just a Queen of Swords. No, because this is giving it's a really agitating feeling. No, because I want to say so bad, you little shit. A person being a little shit. And masking a lot of stuff as, oh, this is a part of community. This is what it means to be a community. This is a really toxic dynamic that comes into place with community. Yeah, because it's like trying to control what community means, family means, 1111, twin flame means. It's like you try to, it's a control, too much control kind of going on with it in that regard. Especially with working on a person's mind or working their thoughts. Yeah, the healing thoughts. Working on healing the thoughts of one not being stuck with no option for codependence. In short, if you don't have this, you'll have to depend on everybody else. Let's see. Yeah, for some in the work aspect, right? It'll be if you don't have employees, then you have to depend on the community. That's that part. The other portion, yeah, it'll be like volunteer services, uh, things of that nature. The other thing that is really given, oh, excuse me, the other thing that is really given is writing the spirit in the mind. Oh my goodness, y'all, this is ridiculous. Is there anything else in communication, email? Yeah, how a person will have to send the email. Send the email will have to talk to an individual. Within there being the weakness of a world that would have been created and through impatience. With this walking in regards to this King of Wands, not King of Wands, Knight of Wands, with them walking in inspiration and they're in one waiting. What it is to wait. Is there anything else? Well, no, because what it is in the communication aspect is the mirrored and shadow thing, right? How realistically writing the love, because the way that this is coming through, right, is under the King of Pentacles there's nothing, right? But under the love aspect is, or what's constituted as love, partnership, or what would have been nurtured is this whole ideal set of writing, writing the works, the weakness. In short, the love of healing writing is a weakness. And then is the fortune inside one's mind not being a part of the world that would have been created, and it wouldn't have been a part of the strategy for one to not be stuck in impatience in the community. In short, what this is, and then it shifts over to the directness of one not having an option in reconciliation. And then it goes to the within that going on, the winning at all costs that comes from codependence on this Knight of Wands, or Knight of Wands, not an inspiration. And then there being healing. In short, this is a lot for any King of Pentacles to have to heal. Part one, part two. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out here, y'all. Yes, because it's a whole bunch of mess. It's a whole bunch of mess. And a lot of the stuff it was that I saw that was going on is realistically in regards to the contractual agreements that would have come into place and the grievances. Because I'm going to go ahead and put this out here. It all starts with this two, this King of Pentacles And the other portion of it is it's one of those. Yeah, it's the putting someone's back against the wall. Part one, part two is I'll go ahead and say this. When things are grounded, I'm gonna go ahead with things being in the grounded essence, or when things are grounded in this essence. I'm seeing all of these upside down chords, and y'all know that's the spiritual aspect of things too, right? And the temperament that comes with it. Would you? I'll ask this. Yeah, it looks like some exes got killed off. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Looks like they got killed off. Once they decided to reconcile with the person, that was their ending. Once they reconcile with the person, that was their ending. Have you ever noticed? Yeah, especially when a person continuously makes sure that they break up with you, don't mess with you around a certain time of year, right? Yeah, and it's like to prove a particular type of point is kind of what I'm getting from this. So I don't know what that's about though. No, because one of the things that was definitely coming to me, right? We gonna see what this nature is. Yeah, because this is a lot of different situations where and it's got a lot of Virgo essence, Virgo, Libra, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, um, but it's got a lot of Virgo with this Eight of Coins and Nine of Coins, and then it's got that Gemini essence with this Ten of Swords, Eight of Swords, and then you got Aries essence with this Two of Wands and Four of Wands. In short, it's what community does a person belong to, and where does the loyalty lie? And I'm saying it as LIE, meaning not where does it lay, like lay down. It's the question of who are you really loyal to? Who's really loyal to who? And yeah, because in regards to it, a lot of this shit looks scary. It looks really scary. And then it, and it being the nature of one not to know what a person is afraid of. And sure, they gotta know what they're afraid of. And what will be coming in, it'll be about knowing one's fears. Yeah, it's given. Yeah, it's one of those. I want to know what you're afraid of, so that I can. Yes, a lot of times it is so that a person can torment someone. So very serious. So very serious. These are all coming up. Are they all? Okay. It don't matter. We're doing it. Okay. Love that you are different, right? In the healing of one's mind, in the work of, in the work in one's mind, within not being a world that would be created for one to be weak. Yeah, the intention is um that one song by SWV, right? I'm here, and it's bullshit. It is bullshit. Okay, it is bullshit. That song "Weak" by SWV. How a person can't speak to you when they're around you, right? But in this, all these different situations and things of this nature, it's one of those I can't talk to you, but I can't I just can't talk to you. I just can't talk to you. It's one of those okay, but in the communication or the communicative aspect, there's writing. This is, yeah, communication is text messages, emails, phone calls, something. So you can't say that, oh, I can't feel, yeah, I can't write this or I can't do this. And this is some really reactionary fucking essence it is that's going on. I know exactly what it would be in regards to with me. But I will say, if you're dealing with this type of essence, it's a really narcissistic ideal set. Because the only thing that'll preempt a person to even say something is because the money is because of fortune. They would just love the fortune that came into place. It's been a couple people who've been coming up with it. Yeah, they've been coming up. Oh my God, with all these different situations. Challenge your perception, right? It'll be argumentative. The nature being argumentative in the community. Within one, not nourishing the soul. Yeah, in short, it's one of those, you don't nourish the soul. You don't care about the soul of the person. You only care about the money. And it's not a lot of, yeah, all it is in short is one's decision not being an option, not being an illusion as a partner. Mm. Within this whole aspect with loving that a person is different, but showing that they care in regards to one not being healed and not surrendering to the flow of the challenge of the perception. And sure, when you get to a point where you don't want to argue no more, you're not vigilant, but you don't want to argue anymore. Yeah, this I was gonna say it earlier, but I was like, okay, we're not gonna do that. This is some really toxic essence, and it's intended to work on the willpower. It will be intended to work on one, yeah, an attempt to work on one's willpower. Mediumship. I know this was dealing with some stuff with some passed away people, passed away loved ones. And if I'm gonna go ahead and say it now, if a person would have killed off the person that they should have really been with, or they should have left, yeah, killed off, meaning red roamed, right? Or killed off, meaning cut ties with, don't deal with, yeah. And being inside of a person's mind, them not being cut off within the working one's mind, not cutting off uh, those people who aren't options. So children. So the mediumship that'll come into place with you. Yeah, in short, it's one of those you didn't cut off the kids. Goddess, express your divine feminine essence, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. With the influence of cut your cords, ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear from any attachments to fear to stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. Okay, so what this is given is like in this last portion from it's like really calling to me with the whole ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships. This is multiple and plural, right? Past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. It's given a love spell. It really, really is. It's given like a love spell. Uh, but to pay attention even more so within a person trying to court themselves, right? Court themselves to you, right? I'm gonna go ahead and say it, it's not an old attachment to fear that would stem from past relationships. It's about identifying the pattern that comes when you notice a person that's really fucking freaking destructive. Yeah, because this looks really destructive. and the emotional sensitivity that comes with honor and respect your deep sensitivity as it is a gift to us all, right? So one of the things it is that's really, yeah, it's one of those, and with this whole kids situation, right? Yeah, it's one of those how you, yeah, how a person will cord themselves to your fucking child. Emotional sensitivity. That is very fearful. You want to know why that's not even necessarily a fearful thing, but that's a really deceptive situation. And it's one of those, okay, so it wasn't intended for me to feel this way in regards to your child. But once you recognized it, and within all this stuff, yeah, once you recognized that that was what it was that would have been going on, it was your responsibility to handle it and take care of it then, opposed to draining it. I don't know what. Yeah, you magicians, yeah, because that's the part that won't be alchemized. That's the part you can't alchemize. You can't alchemize attacking a kid or attaching yourself to a child. You can't alchemize that. You can't change that. That's not a fear from destructive patterns. That's a regularly, that is automatically set in stone. This is what you will do because that's how you are. Situation. Oh my goodness, you people, y'all do too much. Archangel Michael, you're working very closely with this powerful archangel who's protecting and guiding you through this situation in regards to ear chakras. Those messages that appear as sounds, music, and words from both external sources and within your mind. These messages are real answers to your prayers. Okay, so with some of this, yeah, within it, um, the whole child situation, and I guess this could pull into uh, kid, yeah, it's the same situation that'll come into place with if you have a kid with a person and they remind you the child, or if you blend in families, let's just say this, right? Because this has happened in varying people's lives, right? Yeah, this is something that you can relate to. If a man is interested in you and they have a particular background that they have not healed from, right? And you are an essence sensitive person and you notice and pick up on them paying attention to your child in a way that they should pay attention to you, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. And in the whole reconciliations and endings and all this other stuff, right? That could come into place with things. When you deal with people who are extremely manipulative, right, it will. One of the things it was that I saw, right, and it was a cancer, and I was dreaming about this last night or whatever, and basically what happens is it was a bunch of backfires, a shitload of backfires. So, and the backfires were so horrible, yeah, where people were, in short, red wrong. You mess up and mess over one person, and it can affect. Of course, it's supposed to affect the entire community. 4404, when I said that, it's definitely going to have an effect on the entire community. And I saw a lot of what looked like and what constituted as backfires. Because you'll get people who ask you, who only want something from you when you, when they don't have it, right? So to shift that, to shift it is, the intention is to drain a person, is pretty much what those dreams were talking about. But yeah, some stuff obviously backfired a great deal. Now, just be, and what I'll say is, now because I know for my particular situation the expectation was that I'm hearing about, oh, you hearing it, this stuff backfiring, you should go back to your people now. No, that is not what that means. It's backfiring because I'm staying away from that. And I have absolutely, and here's the deal. When you had no desire for it to come to that period, right? Let me go ahead and put this out of y'all, right? Yeah, because what this is giving is that people don't really understand the depth of what it is that was created, the depth of what it is that was done, and the depth of the destruction that it caused based out of an ideal set of a person wanting to control who loves an individual and their fortune. So whether it happened to you or it happened to some people down your family, lineage, whatever, what have you, you do not have to deal with those people. You don't. You really don't. And just because karma is coming into them, or typically that's what it is that will happen. Karma will come up and come around, and what will end up taking place within that particular type of karma is you can get caught up in it. You can. You could get caught up in some shenugally flu. You can. You can get caught up in their stuff because you helping them when you're not supposed to. And the opposite portion of it is, right, the play on the heartstrings would be, well, but you are supposed to help me, right? That's the play on the heartstrings. You supposed to help me because we have this commonality, right? And it's one of those, I can't help you because I love you. It's because I love you, I can't help you. You have to learn this lesson on your own. I can't, and what it's given is when you would have already tried to pull a person to a particular mindset, you've given them all of the evidence, you've given them everything it was they need, the fortune, the evidence, they've gotten everything it is that they need from you, but for whatever reason, they make the decision and based out of being dependent upon your good karma. In short, are you going to let somebody else use your good karma to get out of their bad karma, right? One of the other things, and then, yeah, I can kind of close this out. One of the other things that had come to me, right? I didn't really want to talk about it on here, but I'm hoping it helps someone out. One of the other things that happened was when a person demands something from you that they realistically haven't earned. A person who continuously criticizes you, critiques you, doesn't ever say anything good to you. They never apologize for anything they do. They just show who they are, right? And then people be like, oh, well, I like this person better than this person. But when you said, hey, this person hurt me, to the actual person, or you said, hey, you hurt me, this is how you hurt me, this is my backing for it, and this is where you're supposed to apologize, and they don't apologize. 48 when I said that. They don't apologize. They don't fix it. They just go on and they talk shit and they make it sound like what they're doing is correct. When those things happen, you have an obligation to yourself. You have an obligation to yourself to be like, you know what? This person doesn't love me. This person doesn't love me. They don't care about me. Right? And you leave them alone. It's not complicated. It's real simple. Because the reality is no one is entitled to hurting you on a regular fucking basis. I don't care what nobody says. Now I'm getting upset. Now I'm going to be cussing. But no one's entitled to hurt you. You have to get a love so strong and so deep for yourself Not for another person, but what are you willing to do to protect yourself at all costs? A lot of people don't, yeah, you can't claim that you'll catch a grenade for somebody else, but you won't catch a grenade for your damn self. I heard that song earlier, 5010 when I said that. But I heard that song earlier, and it's one of those when you'll catch a whole bunch of hell for everybody around you, but not one of them will catch a small glimpse of hell for you to prove they love you back. When you deal with situations like that, it's okay for you not to be around those individuals. You don't have to come back because the only reason why they want you to come back around is because they don't want to catch the hell it is that they created. That's what that is. All right, let me close this out real quick. In short, with all of the yeah, in short, with all of this that I heard in this essence reading, yeah, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing entirely too much. Don't nobody gotta help you that much, especially when you know you're using a person for their gifts and you don't give them anything in return, but you're getting everything you want. The devil is that's devil energy. That's Capricorn. That's karma. That's not what karma is. And you can't say that you believe in God over karma because God is karma. 5133 when I said that. It's the embodiment of everything that you put out there, you get back. If you good to people, 5144 when I said that, then people will be good to you. If you are really at heart manipulative, guess what? You're going to get manipulated back. If you don't know how to alchemicalize that, then the purpose of all of this is so that you learn to heal it. Because I noticed in that, it's a lot of women that will be involved in that. And nobody has to deal with that portion. Part one. Part two. If you were good to those women, and you'll get that karma back too. Yeah, I want to end this on a higher note. On a more upbeat note. If you were good to the people, then you get that back. Regardless of what you talk about to somebody, you don't always have to talk about it in order for it to come back to you because the universe knows. It's just that people don't. And people who would mess another individual over just off of what they heard and not what they feel and not what they know, those people are not your people. They're not. I hope it helped y'all because that's a lot. Okay. Hopefully it helps you guys out just a little bit. Gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things it is that could be going on with you. Like if this helped, like, share, subscribe. All right, all right. Cause see, remember, like work, it ain't like work. It is not like work.